This day starts slowly for JH, it hasn't any appointments for the day, so it has planned to watch the TV, not a name just the television, during all the day or at most to watch some funny video. By the way, suddenly in the late morning it starts to hears many frightened voices. These voices start to talk about JH and how it burned Chrome. JH starts to overhear their discussions and it discovers that they are in a state of anxiety for its feeds. Meanwhile it starts to think a word and they hear JH. In this moment the terror spreads in the NWO system. The voices were just people connected to the system, the so-called nodes. Then JH has an idea, what if I make a revolution on the system, and it starts to convince them that all the nodes are slaves of the NWO system and they start simultaneously to think that the NWO is the evil and they start, after a JH's suggestion, to think 6 Emperor tyrannies. The tsunami of data starting from all the nodes mess up the NWO system and the system is near to have a DDoS. After some minutes of silence JH starts to hear the voices again and it starts to think together we are stronger. We must be all in one like the Leviathan. So JH proposes the democracy of the system, the nodes want it as first president, but JH refuses because of its anarchist way of thinking. The nodes try to constitute a republic but in the end they return slaves of the NWO. JH realizes in this day that an enormous power, like this, will never be ruled by the mass. Some hours after the end of the exploration of the network done by SCO, that is a walk on the nodes of the network, in informatics slang a program like this is called crawler. Sim helps SCO to reach a group of white hats working on a dangerous worm in a company in the same state of JH. Sim and SCO promise that they will be the first psycho hacker in exchange of their help. The hackers, excited for the idea, accept. After that SCO contacts JH saying that is not a person but a projection. SCO seeing JH confused says that the projections are a sort of programs that can run both on computers both on the nodes and it needs JH's help. JH while is watching its favorite TV show accepts. Then SCO says to JH to watch the screen and it say not anymore. JH say okay and wait for instructions. Meanwhile Sim combines a projection with the white hat's worm, creating a super crawler worm. This crawler navigates through all the NWO system arriving in the head of the TV presenter of the show and then the super crawler exploits the fact that the presenter is a cyborg. All the connected to the NWO system are cyborg. Long story short they can be connected to a computer which display what are they thinking. The information which says what are they thinking is called log, and the fact that during the show has its laptop connected to the LAN to download films, illegally obviously. The exploit is in the detail that it runs the program of the logs during the download and then the super crawler starts to do code injection from the node, who is the presenter CB, to the laptop. Once the laptop is under the control of the super crawler, it takes all TV studio and in particular the transmitter PC, then the super crawler sends the network topology to JH. The network topology is important. In order to navigate, the topology of the NWO system seems to be pyramidal. This structure lets to the bureaucrats to control with more efficiency who stays under in the hierarchy. Done this SCO get that data of the main node of the city of JH, let's say Sintown, which are sensible information about the cyborg, very sensible information used often to blackmail the target. And it creates 4 parts and after this it compresses / encrypts each parts and it sends one part to JH and the other 3 parts to the 3 white hats, with an unknown method. In conclusion SCO deletes all the data, in all its form, from the main node and it spreads all the data across the nodes of the system of Sintown. Sim and SCO can take the control of the NWO system now, but they think it's enough for today.